Hi, I'm Rich Korb. I'm the author of Motivating Defiant and Disruptive Students to Learn. Today we're at Barnes & Noble's for a book signing. We'll be inside talking about the different parts of the book. We'll be meeting some of the students that have actually been using the strategies in a situation of student-teacher from Central Washington University. We'll be talking to some students in the classroom that have actually been the recipients of some of these strategies as well. So come on inside, let's take a look at what the strategies are all about, and join us as we go through our book signing today. Thank you. How many of you are working in public education, private education, homeschool? You're involved in education at some level right now. Okay, great. And give me kind of a thumbs up on, you doing secondary? Any secondary? Okay, some, okay. How about middle level? We're talking, that'd be secondary. What?
We're K through 8.
K through 8, okay. And then just purely elementary, okay. These strategies can be used across the grade levels. I've worked K-12, and I've worked with the little tiny people all the way to the big people, and these strategies work across the board. And so today I'm going to be sharing with you some of those strategies. We don't have time to do all 208 that are in here, but I just want to make sure that you walk out of here today with something that you could use and say, hey, that's going to be valuable to me. Quick thumb check. How many people are having trouble with a kid in your classroom? Honeymoon's over, school year started, and you're already struggling with a kid. Okay? All right. And then kind of, sort of having some problems, sideways thumb down. Nope, having no problems at all. Give me something. All right? There we go. There's your first strategy. We use that in class all the time. Scott's learning how to use that strategy, and it's a little bit different because why it's important is when we're working with our students, we really don't know what's going on inside their head. We think we do, but we don't know if they're actually absorbing the information, if the information's bouncing off, where's it going? In one ear and out the other ear kind of a thing. And so we like to use the thumb check to get their visual response back to us. Now the neat thing about that strategy is we don't have to ask anything except those questions. Did this work for you today? Kind of worked for you today? Didn't work for you today at all? Did I learn something today? Yeah, I learned some stuff today. Kind of, sort of, didn't learn a thing. So then what we do is we then ask the students, okay, if you don't give me a thumb check, I'm going to call on you. No kid wants to be embarrassed. One of my para-eds that I was working with, I asked her, I said, if you could give me one thing that I could share with teachers that makes the most sense, what would it be? She says, well, it's the student's prayer. I said, well, the student's prayer, what is that? She says, God, don't let me be embarrassed today. So we tell the students, if you don't give me a thumb check, I am going to call on you because I need to know what's going on inside your head. So when we do those kinds of things, it's a very effective tool. And then also what we do is we tell them, if you do give me a thumbs up, I'm going to ask for you to voluntarily give me some information about what you learned today. See what's happening here? We got an instructional strategy that's getting those kids to engage with us and us with them, and not a word is spoken between them and I. We're just getting something visual coming from inside of them to us. Very effective tool. And so then what we find out is if they have their thumb up and they're giving us some good positive response, what we can do at that point is then we can say, would you like to share? Anybody, just throw something out. And if they don't, that's okay. But you'll get one or two that'll say, yeah, I want to tell you about this. And when they do that, then you can say, great. Tell them, I'm not going to quiz you about it. I'm not going to ask you more information about it. Just let it go. So these strategies are in our book, and I'm just pleased that Barnes & Noble is carrying the book. You can get it on their website, and it's been a great tool. We've sold many, many books. Corwin Publishing came to me, it was last year sometime around, maybe a year ago, October. And they said, we want to publish your book. We like your book. It's Corwin. It's exactly what we're about. And so I said, okay, well, let's do it. So we started putting it together, and in January of this year it came out. So you've got a pretty effective tool in your hands. You also have some pieces of paper out there in front of you, And I'm going to talk about those in a couple of minutes. But what I want to do right now is I'm going to have Scott come up here and share how it's been working for him. One of the things that happens when you have a student teacher, anybody ever had a student teacher in your classroom? It's interesting experience. Oh, you have. How many of you had? Two. Okay. Scott's an interesting one because when I got contacted, they said, we would like you to help Scott kind of get on the ground, you know, and get him running right from the get-go. And so Scott, come on up here for a second. And this is Scott Freeland from Central Washington University. We've been working together for a month and a half, I guess, something like that. And so he's going to share how the book has helped him. And I'm going to just turn it over to you for a few minutes.
Thank you. Right. Thank you for having me here also. First of all, when I was told about the book, it was the summer and I had just got done with my 4 years of college. This is my last piece of it. So this is not what I wanted to do. Okay. The biggest thing that helped me get into this book was knowing that it can help. If you know something's going to help you, I felt like that made it, I got to get into this. And then this is what I did. You go through and you just put some notes, what you like, what you might use, what you want to see happen. So this is the first thing I did with my book, and I go back and read those. The second thing is when we started to implement the strategies in the classroom. One of my favorite ones, and the one that helped me the most, was this CBIP sheet. It's a corrective behavior improvement sheet for the students. Okay, so what they do, if a student comes into our class late, I've already started, got our entry task on the board, okay, comes in late, they know to go over to the desk, grab it, go outside, fill it out, hold it up in the doorway when they're done. I've already eliminated the distractions in the beginning of the day with that, okay? On that sheet, they have to say what they did and how they're gonna fix it. And if they just put nonchalant answers, fill out another one. So it helps me, and those are the biggest things. Like when I was in classes in college, I didn't know what to expect. And I go, I'm only gonna be 4 years older than some of these kids. Are they gonna take me seriously? And in order for them to take me seriously, I was continuing these strategies, and it really helped me. And just getting in here, getting in the reading in this book, seeing some of those, and being able to see them work has helped me out so much. You get told in college classes what things are like. You hear some horror stories or whatever whatever may come up, but they don't give you an idea until you're in the classroom what to do when it happens. And this is the what to do when it happens. And like I said, some of those kids are only 4 or 5 years younger than me, and for them to take me seriously was one of my biggest challenges. But because of the strategies in here, that's what helped me. Okay, there's a few others, obviously there's quite a few other strategies. Those are just, that one is something we use daily. Okay, our grading is something we use daily, that's helped me out as well. What we try to do is promote self-starters. We all want our students to get started and hopefully be on track. We know that doesn't happen. We also know that they're busy. I'm busy. I make the lesson plans every day, right? So what we do is we provide them with, okay, Monday started. You got homework for Monday. Whether or not you had time to work on it then or later, you decide. Everything is due Friday, okay? That's more of a real life feel for them. That's more of how it's gonna be as they move on in their life. So you need to learn to budget your time, just like all adults need to learn to budget their time, their money, all of those things. And that's part of the grading policies that you can look at in here. So just having something that to me didn't feel like a textbook. It felt like there's plenty of stories in here. You laugh at some of them kind of get you, but it just seems like not a textbook when I'm reading. It seems like something that would have been really helpful 2 years ago when I'm taking classroom management classes. Okay, so that's how it's helped me out the most. I don't have too much else to share because I want you to be able to use this, right? I want you to be able to pick this up and find what works for you in there. So there's nothing else, just like.
Well, great, Scott. Let's just kind of show them what we have here.
I didn't know you had them.
Yeah, I was just kind of hiding back here. So this is the document that he's talking about. And this is free. If you want to take one today, you can go ahead and grab one. I've also given you some other things that we'll talk about here in just a couple of seconds. So Scott, thanks. Appreciate that. One of the things that Scott did mention as well is that the book is a book that has stories in it. Real life, true encounters of things that I've dealt with over the years. And so that kind of sets the stage for each of the chapters in the book. And at the end of each chapter, there is a section on, it's called review, basically, and a process and apply. So there's questions that get you into the back end of the chapter to figure out how you might be able to use that. So we have a workshop that's coming up, and if you'll pull that sheet of paper out, this is the one I want you to take a look at right now. This is coming up in November the 10th. It's a Saturday, and I am also an adjunct instructor at Seattle Pacific University. And so this is going to be held over at in Pasco at the Best Western from 8 until noon. And so if you're interested in coming to that, there's the 4 strategies that I can't get into today because it would take way too long, but that would be an opportunity for you to get into seeing that. The full book is offered through online staff development. You can also see this piece here, and that covers the whole book. And all the sections of our DVD are listed on there as well. On the back side, this is the last thing I want to share with you, is a 3 + 6 = 1. Now wait a minute, Rich, I thought you were a teacher. 3 + 6 doesn't equal 1. Well, I was teaching a seminar up in, actually it was a class, a summer class at ESD 189 in Anacortes, and a teacher came up to me at the end and she said, you know, I liked everything you had to say, but you just didn't deliver the silver bullet. Well, the silver bullet is the 1. The foundational pieces of being firm and fair and having a purpose are the 3. And you see there, those are there in red. And then that's your foundational piece. The framework are the 6 that follow. How are you going to build a framework of trust with that student? We're going to listen to the student. We're going to compliment the student. We're going to set goals for the student. There's a whole variety of things there. And then the final one is when students start to misbehave, here's what you want to remember. When do we discuss our personal concerns? Many teachers want to get into it right now. You've been challenged. You've been threatened. The students in your space. The book teaches you how to go. This is the nutshell version of the book right here. So if you're interested in learning more about the strategies that are here, they're listed, they're here in the book as well. So I just want to encourage you to, take advantage of some of these great opportunities that are tied to the book. And Jerica, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to you.